Hey everybody, welcome to the Weekly Fix. As always, I am Neil. I got some new news from Honda, new Pioneers coming out, and some ATV models. Electric UTVs, they might actually be here this season. And we have a spoiler alert for The Walking Dead. Alright, I want to give a special shout out to Can-Am Spyder for sponsoring this week's episode. And of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, please click on the bell and subscribe so we can continue making these videos. Alright, so Honda has announced some 2018 models, and if you don't know already, some of the ATV models that are going to be back this season. You have the Rancher as always, Foreman, and the TRX 90X, which is going to be for our little guys out there. But the big news for them is the Pioneer 500. Now this thing, they're kind of pitching it as beginner friendly, but expertly tuned. And ultimately with Honda, you know it's going to have all the features that the big 1000 has, just in a little bit smaller package, probably, obviously, a little bit easier to drive. Still an automatic, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, all the good stuff you come to expect with Honda. Alright, here's that spoiler alert. So if you're going to not want to know about The Walking Dead coming up, turn, look away, don't listen. Turns out Negan and Daryl are friends in the upcoming season of his show, The Ride with Norman Reedus. So Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who plays Negan, one of my favorite characters right now.
If that ain't the coolest thing I've ever heard in my life. Not only is that practical, it is just badass.
And, of course, Norm, who is our Daryl character, are going to be cruising around on his new show, again, touring around the U.S., motorcycles, hanging out, talking to people, eating at places, checking out bikes, whatever they do. But good on Norman Reedus, the guy's a huge motorcycle enthusiast. And for you die-hard Walking Dead fans, I think most folks know is Daryl actually wasn't even in the comic, but he's become the iconic character of the show, you know, besides Carl, you know, and some of the other guys. So regardless, it's a great show, but I'm looking forward to seeing this, and I am a big fan of Jeffrey Dean Morgan, so it'll be some good times. And it looks like it is happening, and hopefully we'll see this thing soon. There's an electric UTV out there. The guys at Nikola Power Sports, hope I say that right, have come out with a model called the Zero. So this rumor, we've been kind of hearing about this throughout the summer, and really there's talk of it last season at the Sand Show. But this thing, 400 volt plug-in, and it starts at $35K. So respectively, that pricing's not too aggressive for what's out there right now. Crazy thing here is horsepower. So 415 horsepower is an option, and all the way up to 555 horsepower, which to me sounds like a grip. Largest battery pack that they offer carries more charge than the Tesla, which is impressive. 200 miles they're claiming in straight 4x4 mode. 62 inches wide, 32-inch tires with bead locks, 20 inches of travel front and rear. The one thing I couldn't find was the weight, because as we all know with battery-powered stuff, it is heavy. So I'm curious on that. And I guess something we talked about earlier this morning was, did someone request an electric UTV? Because I don't know, to me, I love the smell, the sound when we're out there in the dunes or the desert. This thing will be like the Hunt for Red October Caterpillar drive, just creeping along. But man, the thing sounds fast. They're claiming 3.9 seconds, 0 to 60. I'm actually kind of anxious to see this, and I heard there is a ride coming up in December. Once again, we want to thank Can-Am Spyder for sponsoring this week's episode of course, The Weekly Fix. Spyder for life! Well, there's actually a super fan of the Can-Am Spyder, so I want to give a big shout out to Stud and Brittany for helping us out and making this episode happen this week. In all seriousness, of course, I mean, as Matt's enthusiasm shows for the Spyder, you need to drive one number one. Plenty of power in these things. They're easy to drive. Confidence inspiring goes hand in hand with that. We got to take them through the canyon about a month ago. They're actually pretty fun. You can get on it. Remember too, these have all the carpool privileges here in California. There is no M1 endorsement in the state of California. Make sure you come check these out. We're actually having a demo this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. You can either show up and take a chance or sign up online. And I know it's filling up quick, both Saturday, Sunday. There'll be rides that are led through lower part of Azusa Canyon and back. So if you have not got on a Spyder yet, you need to come visit. And again, thanks guys for helping us out.